Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. Rob Calloway back at it. Man, it's been a few days. Yeah, we were supposed to be here Saturday. But, sometimes life happens and family calls, and family always comes first, ladies and gentlemen. I have one of my closest relatives, one of my closest friends in life. She's bad. She's in a fight for her life right now with cancer. And, I had to go sit down and spend some time with my cousin, and try to make peace with this within myself, because it's going to hurt because the prognosis is not good. So I just had to take some time away, but of course I know that I had to come back and talk to you guys. So we'll actually have 2 HBCU reports this week. Of course, this is, the HBCU report for Wednesday, January 18th, 2017. And, getting ready for the Honda Battle of the Bands. Of course, it's Banduary right here on the HBCU Report for the month of January. What is Banduary? Well, if you missed the last edition of the HBCU Report, I'll tell you again. Banduary is a play on words. It's January, and then we're in right on the cusp of the 15th edition of the Honda Battle of the Band. So we just took the band and the wary from January and just put it together. Banduary. So that's what we're celebrating. 15 years of the Honda Battle of the Bands right here on the HBCU Report, all month long. Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Alcorn, Benedict, Bethune-Cookman, North Carolina A&T, Texas Southern, and Winston-Salem State will all be in the house January 28th, 3 o'clock at the Georgia Dome. And so we're going to keep the theme moving right along today. But before we go any further, man, just really quick, just a quick side note. Sad news coming from right here in DeKalb County, South DeKalb County, where this show originates, the suburbs of Atlanta. Bishop Eddie Long, my pastor for over 10 years, lost his battle with cancer early Sunday morning. And, dude just meant a lot. I'll just keep it like that. I know everybody has their opinions. I had mine at one point. But at some point, you got to let go and let God. And we all have to be accountable for our own salvation. And I'll just say that and just keep it moving. But he will definitely be missed. Condolences to his family. Condolences to my new birth family. Everybody that's hurt right now, because there's a lot of people hurting right now. And there's a lot of people on social media just being nasty and doing a lot of hurting right now. Totally uncalled for. But this is the HBCU Report. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at HBCU Report. You can also shoot us an email if you'd like, hbcureport@gmail.com. Coming up on this edition of the HBCU Report, we will talk with Dr. James Oliver, Director of Bands from my Institute of Higher Learning, my highly regarded Institute of Higher Learning, the Alabama State University. Mighty Marching Hornet is going to be a part of the 15th Honda Battle of the Bands. Don't forget, Tuesday nights on Aspire TV, you can check out Bama State Style. That's right. You want to see how the Hornets do it? Right there on Aspire TV. Shouts out to Dr. O for getting that show back. You remember it was on Lifetime, then it just kind of disappeared. Well, it's back, and it's on Aspire TV Tuesday nights. And so I'm sure we'll talk with Dr. Oliver about that coming up. But on the other side, when we come back from this quick break, we're going to talk with Donovan Wells, Director of Bands from the Bethune-Cookman University Mighty Marching Wildcats. I just added the Mighty. But the Marching Wildcats, the pride of Bethune-Cookman, going to be at the Battle of the Bands as well. And so Donovan Wells is going to join the show coming up as we talk Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Hey, Wildcats, let's go. Right here on the HBCU Report, we are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers.
It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway. If you missed the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway, here's what you missed.
On the line with Neil Malvone, CEO of Cutting Edge Sports Management.
Last year, Chester Rogers from Grambling played in the Dream Bowl. He was a walk-on at Grambling. He was one of the last players to commit to our game last year. The Indianapolis Colts signed him as an undrafted free agent immediately after the draft was over. And what did Chester do? All he did was knock their socks off all summer in the preseason games, made the roster. He's the fourth receiver on the team, moving up to the third spot on occasion. He's their punt returner. So a story like Chester is the reason why we decided to create the HBCU game.
HBCU sports fans, you finally have a voice. This is the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway. Follow the HBCU Report on Twitter. Become a fan on Facebook at HBCU Report. This is the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsAndBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. And, of course, we are celebrating No, it's not January. What did I tell you last week? It's Banduary. That's right, because we're getting you ready for the Honda Battle of the Bands for the entire month of January. Last week, we were joined by Carlton Wright, Director of Bands from Alabama A&M, and also H. Wade Johnson, Director of Bands from Benedict College. And right now, joining us live on the line is Donovan Wells, Director of Bands of the Bethune-Cookman University Marching Wildcats, the pride of Bethune-Cookman, as they call them. First of all, Donovan, welcome back to the HBCU Report.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. So for those that aren't that familiar with Bethune-Cookman, and I'll just, give the backstory for me, for those in the listening audience. Very familiar with Bethune-Cookman. My late aunt, Renee Calloway, she attended Bethune-Cookman back in the 80s on a music scholarship. She was a vocalist. And then I went to Alabama State in the mid-90s where Dr. Bray, the longtime band director from Bethune-Cookman, had taken over like the year before I got there. So, I know a little bit about Bethune-Cookman, but for those in our listening audience that don't know about this beautiful campus, right by the beach, and this wonderful band down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Tell us a little bit about your program, man.
Well, before I can say anything about the program, I have to start with the school and our founder, Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune.
Absolutely.
Our founder, she built the school started the school in 1905, back during a time when, especially in the Deep South in Florida, blacks were not allowed to read, write. She started a Daytona Beach normal school for girls, and then it joined with the Cookman Institute for Boys out of Jacksonville because they were having financial troubles. And later on, it became a junior college, then a 4-year liberal arts college, and now we're a university. And so the legacy of Dr. Bethune still lives on. One of the most amazing black female figures in black history in this country. And we are very proud, just to be a part of her legacy. Now about our band program. I'm a graduate of Bethune-Cookman. I graduated in 1984. But I'm originally from Smithfield, Virginia. I'm a little small country boy. I grew up on a farm. And my dad, he passed just recently, but my dad is a pastor. My mom is a retired school bus driver. And I came to Bethune in 1980, graduated in 84, went back to Virginia, spent some time teaching public schools, spent a couple of years at Hampton University with the late, great Barney Smart as his assistant. And I came back to Bethune in 95. And this is my 20th year as director of bands at Bethune, my 21st year as an employee at Bethune-Cookman. We're proud of the band program. This will be our 12th year going to Honda. I was looking on the Honda website. I think the closest school in number of years close to us is I think it's 7 years. So out of the 15 years that they've had Honda, we've been there for 12 years, the most have been at HBCU. And we're very proud of that, Honda's a great thing, great stage to be on. We treat us first class. Urban Sports do a great job of managing it. I've been going, like I said, for 12 years, and I look forward to it like it's my first.
Absolutely. This is the HBCU Report. Rob Calloway on the line with Donovan Wells, Director of Bands, Bethune-Cookman University. The Marching Wildcats will be at the Georgia Dome January 28th, 3 o'clock for the 15th edition of the Honda Battle of the Bands. Alabama A&M, Alcorn State, Benedict, North Carolina A&T, Texas Southern, Winston-Salem State, and
it's
Alabama
the
State
HBCU
will
Report
also
with Bob Calloway.
Be participants in this year's event. Now, you mentioned that you guys had been a part of this thing 12 times. I didn't even realize that. But,
Right.
but being here in Atlanta, I do know that, I started to hear that there were quite a few bandsmen graduating from the Metro Atlanta area and venturing down to Daytona Beach, something which was kind of different for me because being here in Atlanta, a lot of the kids when I was graduating, were opting to go to Tallahassee. Nobody was really talking about going to Bethune-Cookman. But I'll tell you this, my high school band director, and I went to Southwest DeKalb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Don Roberts did, every year. He always made sure that he took the band somewhere, and not just to showcase the band because we were awesome, but not just to showcase the band, but because there were things that we needed to be exposed to, And so my senior year, we actually came to Bethune, and that would have been the first year that you were there. Was the fall of '95. We came down. You all played South Carolina State for homecoming, and that was the first time that any of us had seen Bethune-Cookman's band live and in living color. I never forget y'all came out the end zone. That y'all had the single drum major like Southern. I remember, vividly, I remember this. And everybody was like, we were really impressed, with what we witnessed because we had already seen South Carolina State and knew, what they represented. But it seems like, as the years have gone on, it seems like Bethune-Cookman has kind of become that it school. And I guess, you would have to give a lot of this credit to Honda with the number of ATLians coming down there.
Right. And I'm sorry. I think earlier I told you I started in '95. I started in '96.
Oh, okay.
Now when I went there in '96, the rest of the staff was telling me about Southwest DeKalb that came the previous season, came to homecoming and everything, and how impressed they were with them. And I've been knowing Don Roberts now for over 20 years. And back in '96, when I first came to Bethune, I went out in '97, the spring of '97, I started recruiting. And I went to Atlanta. And a good friend of mine, Willie Barber, he's a graduate of Bethune-Cookman, but he was an employee with Delta Airlines. And he told me, he said, man, I've been trying to get someone from Bethune to come up here. Got some great bands up here, man. Big bands. And we're not tapping in. Everybody else is tapping in. So I came up there by myself. I think I went to 22 high schools in 1 week. I went through Clayton County, Cobb County, Fulton County, city of Atlanta. And the school offered me a substantial scholarship budget, more than we had ever had, to go out and recruit with. And I had convinced them that we're never going to have the band that you want for free, because nothing in life is free.
Absolutely.
There's a cost. There's a cost for everything. And so, I was able to convince the president. I said, every year we go up against Florida A&M at the Florida Classic. And I said, let's be honest with ourselves. It looks like a college band going up against a high school band. And I say, if we want to get our share of recruitment students out of the state of Florida, not just band students, I'm talking about students in general. The image that we have on the stage in our state with our rivals impacts that greatly. And so they allowed me to go up and do some recruiting. We brought a large class out of Atlanta that year. And I've been going to Atlanta ever since. I haven't missed a year. Even though I'm the head band director, I do all the recruiting. I don't send my staff out or anything. And I go actually to the schools. I walk into Southwest DeKalb, Stevenson, North Atlanta, Morrow, North Clayton, Westlake. The list goes on and on. I walk into these